This show was not filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Johnny Dumbbell in the building. What's good, fam?
Man, I got to tell you, it's week after week, it's getting busier and busier. You know, a lot of New Year's resolutions, but I'm going to tell you what, my clients have learned how to stick it out if they didn't already know how to do it already. You know, one of the things that people have the biggest problem with, I call it the KIA method, KIA. Knowledge, intensity, and accountability. We all have a problem with at least one of those three, sometimes all three. And one of the first things I do with these folks is we figure out which one it is. We work on it. But that is exhausting.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Johnny Dumbbell. Out here saving lives. Now,
Well,
Johnny,
changing them is supposed to.
TK can't make it tonight. So it's just me and you riding together on this one. And we got a red pill review tonight. So before we get started on
those are my peeps.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is William. I mean, welcome you to my channel. It's called William the Conqueror, where I can show you how to conquer the hearts and minds of women the world over, but only if you can first conquer yourself. Now, Johnny, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Johnny Dumbbell. I am a personal trainer and life coach here in beautiful Pittsburgh, PA, the city of championsers. And I help young men, middle-aged men, and believe it or not, even older men navigate through life when it comes to their physical and sometimes even mental fitness when it comes to their behaviors. Remember, I don't just teach you how to get bigger biceps or bigger pectorals. That I can do. But remember, you want to live healthier overall, it's going to have to be a lifestyle, not just a 3-day-a-week activity. That's where I come in, and that's where you need to message me.
All right, Johnny. So tonight, we're doing a red pill review. Donovan Sharpe. Now,
dude,
how many times have I had to
C major, leader C major,
that I'm
turn
not
off auto tune
here, that I'm not with any different colored pills, that I'm not with any movements. We've said
a little red pill.
Johnny, I'm really not though. I'm a me pill.
You don't know it yet. You don't know it yet, but I'm telling you, when we watch this video, you're gonna see that you are at least you're a little red pill, man.
I'm telling you, I'll respectfully disagree, and we can. Here's the thing, you know, like you were saying at the very beginning, this is unscripted. We're off the top of our domes here, and that's because you can't stump us. You can ask us anything. Johnny and I have been through the ringer more times than we care to admit. We've had our backs against the wall. We have had the deck stacked against us, and we have still come out on top like winners. So we're here to share our extensive experience with all you young men that have questions and need some help. We're like the uncles you never wanted. Now, Johnny.
And for at least 5 of you out there, you're the uncle. I'm the uncle you got stuck with.
That's what's up.
5 of you.
I got quite a few nephews myself running around out
6
there.
of you. I'm sorry, 6.
So, Donovan Sharpe. Now, give me just a second. I'll bring up the channel. Now, I don't have anything pre-selected to play. I didn't go through here and cherry pick anything. This is all 100% unscripted.
Well, I will say that no matter what video Bill finds, if you've been watching our podcast for a while, the things you're going to hear Donovan say are going to be very similar to a lot of the things you've heard me say. And it's because, I do align myself, and not because of red or blue or whatever color pill, but because it's just logical.
Okay, well, we'll give Donovan his fair shot, just like we did Red Pill Ricky. And I don't identify as part of the Red Pill community because I got to tell you, Johnny, I think it's a cult. I'm telling you, I think the Red Pill community is a cult.
All right, let's touch on that. Why?
Man, okay, well, let's talk about cult behaviors and the things that cult leaders and cult members blindly do. But you know what? I don't want to get off track. We're here to review Donovan's channel. I don't want to make any direct correlations between.
I had you on the ropes. All right, good.
No, I don't want to make any direct correlations between Mr. Sharpe's channel and cult members. But I just want to say,
no, it's definitely not that.
As a non-manosphere member, as somebody who's not with any colored pills, that's just my personal belief that it's kind of
blue pills
behavior. Blue, red, black. I'm telling you, Johnny, the only pill you need is the meat.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen. I know I'm being an asshole right now, but it's only because I know he can't stand when I start talking about the different colored pills. I can actually see his eye twitch.
Right. And I know you're going to try to trigger me throughout this show tonight with this.
Dude, I'm sorry. I love you, man, but I'm going to be putting my elbow in your ribs a couple times tonight.
Absolutely. So give me a second here. And you know what? We got our Skype number open already, man. These guys can call in with some questions.
Let's do this. Now, listen, Justin, Mike, I know you guys are watching. If you decide to call in, please do. We've got answers, man. Those are obviously not real names.
Don't be afraid to
call who it is
anonymously either, because we really don't need to know your name to help you out. So you guys are welcome to call in anonymously and ask any kind of red pill related questions you have. Johnny and I will give you the game on them.
All right, you guys saw his eye twitch when he said red pill, right?
Me pill. All right. Share screen.
I understand not wanting to be put into some kind of like a box with other people. That means that you lose your individuality. Look, I'm with you on that. The whole thing about the red pill is that you know how to weed out. You know how to gauge the behaviors. It's all about bottom lining the actions.
All right, Johnny. Am I sharing
my big thing is my preemptive thing to say about the red pill is when you take it, you'll stop listening to the words and start watching the actions. At the very, very, very base of it, that's how it works.
All right, so I think I got Donovan's channel up now. All right, Johnny, what do you want to start with tonight? You want to start with videos? You want to start with shorts? Do you want to start with lives?
I like the shorts. Let's do the shorts.
All right, shorts. You want me to go to latest, popular, oldest? How you want me to filter these shorts tonight, Johnny?
So there should be a couple that show the word womanese on there. I would like to see those.
Woman ease. All right, Johnny. Can you explain to
And
everybody?
listen, a lot of this is going to sound familiar because I'm telling you, a lot of what I've learned is from this guy.
You know, I understand, and Johnny, I can relate because I have found a few channels on YouTube myself that have so much information on them that I would be remiss as my duties as a man to not learn and try to benefit and grow from them. Because a key part of manhood is learning and growing and being a better man tomorrow than you were today. So you should absolutely access any information you have to learn how to grow, man. So I don't have a problem with that, Johnny.
I mean, like I said the last time, if you want to be successful, look at people who are more successful than you currently are, and he certainly is. See what they're doing. Have conversations.
All right, so has he been on Fresh and Fit quite a bit?
Oh, yes.
I heard Fresh and Fit broke up.
Listen, man, let me tell you something else, too. I forgot about that. Fresh and Fit is another great podcast.
Johnny, you know what? We're going to have to, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree.
Disrespect.
Fresh and Fit is not. I've watched that podcast a few times. Unlike Donovan, I'm going to give Donovan the benefit of the doubt here. I've never watched Mr. Sharpe. I don't know anything about him, so I'm going to be assessing him on his words and things like that. But I have watched Fresh and Fit, and I say I really got to disagree with everything. Like the whole premise of the show. All right, you're getting these women to come on to the show, and then what? Like they talk down on them.
No, not at all. Not at all. What they're doing is they're giving them the reality check because a lot of them have this delusional view of where they rate society. These are now, I'm not going to say that the majority of them aren't outliers to some degree, but these are the kinds of girls who, and I wish I were joking, honestly believe that men make an average of like $200,000 a year, and we just don't.
Okay, Johnny,
and the thing of it is, so what they do is they bring a lot of these girls onto the show, and honestly, they kind of set them straight when it comes to their delusions on how the real world works when it comes to, for example, the sexual marketplace, where your value lies. Listen, we can go ahead and act like we don't put a number value on somebody's hotness all we want, and maybe we don't. But the fact of the matter is, we know when we look at a girl whether we think she's going to be highly sexually valuable or not. And once we get past that initial attraction, that thing that gets your foot in the door, that thing gets your foot in the door. Now we've got to start the vetting process when it comes to personality-wise. And let's face it, if she's, in that, I'm not going to use a number here, but if she's in that upper echelon of what you would consider sexual market value, we tend, you and me, we don't do this, but the average man tends to give her more of a pass. So let's face it, the hotter girls get away with more. And, I'm kind of getting down the rabbit hole here, but this is exactly what these kinds of podcasts talk about.
All right, Johnny, I need you to back up just a minute. You said that they are reality checking these women. How does that make you a better man?
It doesn't. But what it is it does raise awareness of the kinds of behaviors and the kinds of mentalities that we can expect out there in the dating market.
Wait. Let me stop.
That's all he's doing.
There. Because I, as a man, set a standard for the behaviors I'm willing to accept from a woman. A woman doesn't set that. So there's no need for me to reality check her or set her straight because she's either rocking with my program and on it or she's not. And
well, then you're already past
the second on a woman who's not on my program, dog.
Well, then if that's the case, you're already past that echelon and you don't need their advice. And that's all fine and good. But the thing of it is that advice that they're giving, the things that they're displaying for younger men, remember, they're not clued in like you and I are. We're in our mid-40s, man. we've already been through the ringer. These guys are just about to go through it. And so these guys are going to need to see the kinds of behavior, the kinds of entitlement, the kinds of what do you want to call it, prima donna persona that these girls that you're going to see on these shows put forth, because what they display is their own words and actions themselves. I mean, they're asked questions, but you ought to see and hear these answers. Never mind hear them, see the body language. Like I told you. Now at this point, we're not even talking about interest level. We're now talking about behavioral patterns and how they relate. And so that's what these guys are showing to younger men, guys who are less experienced than guys like you and me. Now, you and I would see the girls that they bring on these shows, and we would know to nix them right away. But these younger guys, all they see is TNA. You know how I know? Because I was a younger guy, and all I saw was TNA back then. So and so they're being gaslit even worse than we were, because we didn't have the disadvantage of being simps on social media. I don't know about you, but I was a simp without technology.
By these content creators, because these content creators should be telling them that these things these women are doing do not affect them as men, do not affect their standards or principles. That's what you should be.
Nor should they. Nor should they. But if you actually watch the podcast, they describe how it shouldn't.
And spend my time checking a woman of her behavior for likes and views, and then claiming it's to help young men understand about it. I'm calling cap on that, bro, because what they should be doing is helping these young men understand that principles dictate your moves, not anything that woman does.
Well, in that case, let's go ahead and pull up whatever clip you decide to choose, and we'll analyze it. I'm telling you, I think you might have the wrong idea what they're trying to say.
Fit. And like I said, I want to give Donovan Sharpe the benefit of the doubt, because I'm not red pill. I'm not part of this community. I'm not in this space. Because
no one says you have to be, but it doesn't. No one says you have to be, but you can still agree with those principles. They are about the same.
Okay, principles I can agree with. So
that's all we're saying.
Let's see what kind of principles he has. But as far in the context of fresh and fit, checking women and explaining to them their behaviors, man, they did that for likes. That's why they had those type of women on the show. And I get it. It was a show. It was meant to stir up controversy and ask questions, but I don't see fresh and fit as a beneficial tool for these young men to turn themselves into better men tomorrow than they were today.
Okay, so but before you hit play, I'm going to go ahead and preface it by this. Not only have I benefited from the advice they give, indirectly so have you.
All right, let's keep going here.
Do it.
If she dresses like this, she's not yours. All right, give me just a second here.
Man, I'm glad I got a tablet. Men and women both have to work for what they want. Men, we want to get paid and we want to get laid. So that's what we do. If you want to get paid and get laid, you have to be competent. You have to know how to make money. You gotta be a badass. The ultimate goal for women is to belong to a high status, high value man.
Okay, Johnny, let me stop him right here, because basically what he's doing is condoning that it's okay to be led by your libido.
How so?
Well, he's saying men want to get paid and men want to get laid.
All he's saying is we like making money and we like putting our penis into places that are wet and slippery. He's not wrong.
Right, but
where's the error?
That's how adult males move. Adult males are worried about where to put their penis. Men realize
pretty sure that's who he's talking to.
Gift, and they're not going to give it out to any woman who hasn't earned it.
I think he actually touches on that if you listen.
All right.
Cheating versus how women perceive cheating. If you sexualize yourself while you're in a relationship with a man, that is cheating to a lot of guys.
Who asked why does the outfit matter?
Exactly.
That was you.
If your man wants to leave the house,
okay, did he just say?
I didn't hear any of that.
All right, we're going to have to run that back, because he just said if you sexualize yourself in a relation. Hold on, let me hear that, because it almost, let's start this over. It's funny, we were talking about fresh and fit, and the first clip I select has a minute, huh?
I mean, I'm fresh and fit. You know I have to agree with those guys. Both.
A lot of times can't connect.
What?
I
Versus how women perceive cheating. If you sexualize yourself while you're in a relationship with a man,
If you sexualize yourself while you're in a relationship with a man.
That was half a sentence. I didn't hear the second half.
that is cheating to a lot of guys.
That is cheating to a lot of guys.
Well, what he's saying is, if you are in a committed relationship, but you're still posting thirst traps on Facebook, you're still showing that cleavage under the guise of look at my new haircut on Instagram, and you're in a relationship with a man that you say you're committed to, here's the thing. Never mind how confident that man might be. Nobody cares how confident he thinks he is. The point is, she's in a committed relationship. Hold on. She is in a committed relationship, and she's posting these pictures for what reason? Because she needs to keep her value in the sexual marketplace high. But why? If she's in a committed relationship, there's really no reason to have to do that.
Why?
But remember, two things. Number one,
women don't put on makeup for men. Some women take the time to put on makeup for themselves. I know plenty of women, especially MILFs in their late 30s and early 40s, that love taking pictures of themselves because they know, Johnny, they're going to hit that wall and they're not going to look like that 10 years from now, 15 years from now. And they want to be able to go back and say, look how sexy I was. And it has nothing to do
listen to me.
with attention from other men.
Don't.
Even thinking that means getting attention from other men says a lot about your own insecurities. Because, like you said, why would that woman care about
that? Is exactly what she would tell you. That is exactly what she would tell you if she posted a thirst trap and you got upset. If she posted a thirst trap showing her boobs and you got upset, that is exactly the thing that she would tell you. That if you were not so insecure, you wouldn't be worried about her posting pictures of herself online, no matter what she was revealing. No, here's the thing. Why would she be here's my thing. Why would she be posting pictures of herself in revealing clothing for other men to see if she is content in her current relationship? Why would she be posting? Why would she need other men's attention when she's supposed to have already striven for yours, and you should have actually chosen her amongst the many that you had the option of? Now she's going to post pictures of herself showing off that body. Why?
But here you're not.
Now you know you can be as secure as you want to be, and hold on.
More.
You can be as
validation. Just one. Little
why does she need that validation outside of you?
Looks, how fucking cute she looks, how sexy she looks is gonna mean more than all the likes, all the hearts, all the comments put together.
No.
So I
disagree.
Understand why you care about what women
in your
do.
mind, that might be the case, and in a lot of minds, that might be the case. But the fact of the matter is that when she sees the hearts that show up on her story, when she sees the comments of the guys that she'll never fuck anyway, going, "Oh, you're so beautiful," never mind the fact that she wouldn't touch them with a stolen badge. The fact of the matter is that she's getting the attention, she's getting the likes, she's getting the dopamine rush that her own brain produces.
If you're upset,
and listen, here's the thing. My question is this: if you as a man are validating her by being with her in the first place, by having chosen her among the many, by having let her know that among all the girls that you could share your resources and your success with, she's the one that you would pick, why on earth would she, knowing that, go ahead and put pictures forth on Facebook or whatever social media there is, in the hopes of getting the attention of men who haven't done a goddamn thing for her? You know why? Because in this day and age, the dopamine rush is insane. In high school, we got the dopamine rush by our girlfriend handing us that really weirdly folded pieces of paper, with the love notes on us, or when Carnation Day came and we got one. That was our dopamine rush. Nowadays, you can get 3 or 4 of those a day, minimum. And that's if you're a 5 or a 6.
I encourage women to post sexy pictures, to take sexy pictures, because I'm not threatened by that at all. And if you're
not looking for a committed relationship, I think it's a great idea.
So she's not posting those pictures for dudes. She could be posting those pictures for other women, and I'm fine with that. All right. Now let's keep moving here because
But that's not why she's posting them, I promised you.
How do you know?
Because I've been dating women for 30 years.
Johnny, how many of them are bisexual?
Depends on how many cameras are pointed at them.
Well, no, I'm serious. Like, how many women in the last
So am I.
years dated that are
It depends on how desperately they want the attention. Now, some of them are either way.
So
but I would say too,
recruit other women for sexual experiences with you. She's not bringing.
Oh no, I'm talking about the selfies these days
for you. Because that's what I'm saying. I date sexy women that are attractive, and I don't have a problem if men or women find the women that I'm dating attractive. So look,
and you may or may not end up falling victim to the vicious concept of, and listen, plug your ears if you don't like this word, but it rhymes with schmishmergamy.
Johnny, there's no such thing as hypergamy. I don't believe in it one bit.
I don't like to believe in it, but it's true. Look, I don't like it any better than you do. I really don't. But the fact of the matter is that men as men. Now let's take us back to our very basic instincts as mammals. Now, I'm not even just talking about humans at this point. I'm talking about anything with hair that breathes oxygen. Okay? The male is supposed to breed as much as it possibly can. And remember that we are able to breed theoretically hundreds of times in a single year. But the female, no matter what mammal, has to be a lot more selective because she can only breed herself, 2, 3, 4 times a year, depending on which kind of animal we're talking about. Now, transfer that over to humans.
Based on someone who should be moving off of principles, Johnny.
We're not talking about principles now. We're talking about instinct.
Hypergamy.
And that plays a huge role in hypergamy. It really does.
Humans and how females move. And I don't want to hear about modern women because there is no such thing as modern women.
Oh my God, there is.
There's no modern lions. We don't have modern dogs. So there's no such thing as modern women. Women.
So
it doesn't matter what race they are, what religion they are. They all respond to masculinity the same way.
Thousands of years ago, all we had was wolves. Now we got Yorkie poos, and you're telling me that dogs haven't evolved or devolved, as we put. I mean, come on. But we always say that the world is softer than it used to be. We've gone from wolves to Yorkies. Okay, and we're not even talking about people at this point.
All right, Johnny, we're a half hour into this.
Yeah,
we haven't heard Donovan talk about anything. You and I are just
let's do it. Yeah.
So I just want to give Donovan Sharpe the respect he's due because we're reviewing his channel. You and I,
and because he's helped me immensely.
So yes, so I want to get back to the channel review. I'm sure we're going to agree to disagree many times tonight, but
you're going to be surprised.
Let's give Donovan a shot here, and maybe the next clip I can find won't have fresh.
Who asked why does the outfit matter?
Exactly.
That was you.
If your man lets you leave the house like that, you don't have the outfit. The outfit doesn't
there you
matter.
go. There it is. No, she got it. If your man lets you leave the house dressed like her or her, he's not into you. He doesn't love you.
Thank you.
Look, those that do respect, they look great, but I would never let my woman leave the house looking like that unless she were with me. My woman can do whatever she wants because I'm not her father. I can't tell her what to do.
He just contradicted himself there.
No, he did not. And I know what he's saying. Now, he worded it wrong. But what he's trying to say is, I would never let my woman leave that house while she's still in a committed relationship with me dressed like that. Now, if you look at some of his shorts, and I know you haven't seen them yet, but a lot of them center around the fact of, she might come to him and they do these little skits, which I actually think are pretty funny. But she comes to him and says, hey, so I wanted to go to this concert with a couple of friends of mine and my ex is going to be there. And he's like, hey, go ahead. But we're done. Wait, what? If you do, here's the thing. Now, remember, this is from the standpoint of them already being in a committed relationship. Now, if he did things correctly, which I'm sure he did in this case, at the very beginning, he made it clear, I do not commit to girls who do this. Because if you look at the short later on in the video, she even says, but you told me when we started dating that you don't commit to girls who do these things. And he goes, no, that's right. She's like, so I can't go? And he says, no, you can go. I'm not going to tell you can't do anything. I'm just saying that because it's one of my boundaries, if you do that, well, you've crossed my boundary and I'm no longer committed to you.
So why aren't you setting those same boundaries with women when it comes to thirst traps if you guys are having such a problem with them posting their bodies, being in a relationship? Well, I don't mean you personally. I just mean the red pill community in general. You guys are complaining about how these women are posting stuff on social media, trying to draw attention and validation, but shouldn't you as a man with standards be saying, I'm not going to be with a woman who needs to do that?
Correct. And that's all Donovan's saying. That is exactly what Donovan Sharpe is saying.
All right, I want to thank everybody for the comments, especially showing us some love on YouTube.
Seriously, thank you, guys.
Imperfect Citizen says your terms are acceptable.
I appreciate that.
All right, let's keep going here, Johnny. I'm going to get back to Donovan's channel here.
But if she leaves the house looking like that, I will have her bags packed and on the front porch. I said that she can do whatever it is she wants to do. If she wants to leave, and listen, you look great, but if my woman wants to leave the house look like that, I'm not going to tell her, you can't do X, Y, and Z. I'm not trying to be. But if she engages in activities that put my relationship at risk, then we are no longer in a relationship.
But dressing a certain way is not an activity. It's respect. But it's a perception of
What? How is her dressing a certain way putting his relationship at risk?
Well, I'll answer that. Here's the thing. Let's go back further than that. Never mind how she's dressed. Never mind where she's heading out the door to. The fact of the matter is that at the beginning of their relationship, he told her, I do not commit to girls who do these things. So the minute she said, I want to do these things, never mind how she dressed after that. That's not even the point. It should have been cut off by the point where she says, hey, I want to go out and do this thing that is conducive to whatever he said is a boundary for him. Now, we're not going to get into the whole topic of why is he setting that boundary? Is he insecure? Never mind why he set the boundary. The point is that he set the boundary, and months down the road in this relationship, she is saying to him, I want to cross this boundary, but I know you said it's a boundary, so I feel like I have to ask. And if you say no, I'm going to go ahead and call you controlling. And then that way I can make it your fault that I decided to go ahead and go anyway. And then that way you will be the bad guy if you break up with me over this. Guys, this is something she will use on you every single time when she wants to cross a boundary that you've already set. So like I told you, setting boundaries is half the battle, but believe me, it's only half the battle. Enforcing the boundaries is 3/4 of the battle, and that doesn't even mathematically add up. And again, truth is stranger than fiction because fiction has to make sense.
Johnny, everybody wants to be a man until it's time to be one. Okay. Women aren't just going to change up like that over months. She's not suddenly after following your lead and being on your program for 4 or 5 months, decide that she is going to dress up and go out and do this stuff that what he is saying.
Yeah, there were problems long before she decided that. Yes, you're right.
You know, so.
But that's part of the point. That's part of the red pill. That's part of paying attention to those signs. Instead of figuring it out when she decides she's going to wear that sexy red dress that you've never seen her wear before she goes out without you, maybe go back a few weeks and look at some of the body language. Look at some of the actions that she's shown you that don't match her words. This is what the red pill's about. Those guys that sit around crying about, oh, girls just want rich guys that are good looking and 6 foot. That's the black pill. Those are the guys who are like, oh, I'm not going to get anywhere anyway, so I'm just going to say screw it. That is not what this is about. This is about just saying, hey, this is what the behavioral patterns are. We are not saying that all women are the same because they're not. They're every bit as unique as a snowflake, a fingerprint, whatever the hell you want to say. But behavioral patterns, especially in response or reaction to the things that they see or hear, those are actually more similar than you would think.
But
now, you might ask me, and I think you are going to ask me, Why do I feel that way? Why do I expect that with every woman when this and that? Who hurt you is a hurtful phrase or hurtful question they all like to ask because he wants you to go, oh, I guess maybe because I was hurt, maybe that's why I feel this way. No, it's because I know what my stories are. I know what Bill's stories are. I know what people online in forums, on Reddit, on Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere you can think of social media wise, the storylines all seem to follow the same 3 or 4 basic different storylines. And so when you hear the same things enough times, you start to realize that this is not just some unique thing that they should make a movie about. This is a behavioral pattern, and it's cultural, and it's gender related. And in this country,
I'd
a lot of
agree with that.
times,
It's
especially when
definitely-
it comes to the courts, and Bill, I know you know what I'm talking about when I say this, it tends to be gynocentric. So we guys are at a disadvantage when it comes to social as well as family justice. Life.
Johnny, I couldn't
I don't.
disagree.
Hey, look, I don't like it either. I don't like it either.
Look, I don't talk about a lot of the things that I go through personally on this podcast, but I am a single parent. I am the residential parent for 2 small children. So I can't sit here and say the court systems aren't fair to men when I know personally how hard I went and what I had to do to get my kids. And I'll tell you, they are fair. So I don't think that the deck is stacked against men. I think the deck is stacked.
Do you think you would have had to work so hard if you were the mom? Do you think you would have spent as much money? Do you think you would have spent as many hours in court?
Absolutely. Because it's not about it's I am fighting not a situation about what's best for the kids. You know what, Johnny? Let's move on. This ain't really about me. And
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, we don't want to get that deep. Yeah,
much that this is about Donovan, and let's keep going on his channel review. But I can just tell you from experience, the court system can be very fair. And all these guys who don't get to see their kids and who are whining and crying about it, but never once went down to their local law library and got a pro se packet to file for their rights themselves, I don't want to hear their whining and complaining. Because like I said, everybody wants to be a man till it's time to be one. If you have children and you are not in that child's life, it's not the mother's fault. It's yours. Do something about it today. All right, let's keep moving.
On the same token, when I hear a mother say that her baby daddy should have fought harder, I do tend to question why should he have to fight at all.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
All right,
especially if he took the role, and I'm going to be a little petty here, especially if he took the role on like voluntarily and did a lot of things he didn't have to do.
Well, again, you know, let's.
I know. Mind yes.
Hey,
anyway, let's go.
You and I disagree so much on red pill stuff, but right on point when it comes to fatherhood. And you know what? I know me and you and TK were talking about doing a Father's Day special this year where we get some wise words of wisdom from our own fathers to put into it. But we could definitely address parenting and fatherhood in that Father's Day show this year. We can get into it.
I got to tell you, being a father was the best 10 years of my life. All right, let's go.
Johnny.
What we got?
All right, I got to pick another short because we've spent 20 minutes on this one.
I know. My bad.
Looking like this without you, then she's clearly looking for some sort of attention. That's all there is to it.
But again, this is what I mean when I say women a lot of times can't connect.
Leave it alone.
All right, let's back that up. Let's find another one.
That's quiet.
All right, what do we got here, Johnny? How the woman's movement was a lie?
That was okay. What else you got?
When reality hits for women.
There was one right before that.
One right before that. Why female cheating crushes a man's soul? You gotta be kidding me.
Well, remember, he should have put quotes around that. Play it. Hit play. But if you hit play, you got to listen to the whole thing.
Well, hey, that's what we'll do from now on. We'll run the short all the way through once, and we'll break it down on the way back.
I'm telling y'all right now. I mean, the death of a relative, the death of a loved one, the death of a pet, nothing crushes a man's soul like a woman cheating on him. There is no greater physical, emotional pain than learning that your woman has slept with another man. There is no other pain. Here's how it goes. If you're worth 10 figures, you can have your wife and your side sleeping in the same bedroom, right?
Yeah.
If you're worth 7 figures, you can have a side chick. Maybe she lives in the guest house. If you're worth upper 6 figures, your woman can know about the side chick as long as she doesn't know too much. If you're not making 6 figures, you ain't cheating. That's the way it goes. So hold on. So what it really comes down to is, what does he provide for me? How does he add value to my life? Okay, so he's stuck as get another chick, which, by the way, is nothing for us. It's like shaking hands. That's why it's worse when a woman cheats, because we know there was emotion involved.
John, this is absolutely ridiculous.
No, it's not.
Embarrassed.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And I'll tell you why. When you look at the modern relationship, the way that the modern woman says she wants the man to provide, shelter, housing, clothing, food, all those things. Now, if he was providing that for her and some other girl, I would say that's cheating. If he's just giving her the D, I mean, it's not nice, but at least he's not paying her bills. But here's the thing. Let's flip that around. Let's flip that around the girl who's getting her bills paid, who's getting food and all those things bought for her. What is the one resource she's bringing to the relationship? If she's not paying any bills, if she's not doing anything else, what is she bringing to the relationship? She's bringing general housekeeping and, sex. So she is sharing the one major asset that she does bring to a relationship with some other guy. I feel like that's a lot bigger thing than a guy sharing the 10% that he brings to the relationship. And that's if he's getting it a lot with some other girl once or twice. That's all I'm saying.
This shit is absolutely ridiculous. Let's run this back. I'll break this whole clip.
Society wants us to believe that. You're right.
Right now, I mean, the death of a relative, the death of a loved one, the death of a pet.
Okay, stop that right there.
The man's soul like a woman cheating on him.
Pause it right there. So the three things he described, which one of those things, if any, even comes anywhere close to damaging your ego? And let's not pretend as men that our ego is not fragile and very, very easy to hurt. Listen, our egos are easier to hurt mentally than our balls are to injure physically. I'm going to say that again.
About ego, and that's
I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say it again.
Power away and have that control over you to be able to crush your soul. What kind of man are you if you're going to let a woman crush your soul?
Okay, but you're taking that literally. He's talking about the men who have not figured out the way things work. He knows how things work. So no, it would not have crushed his soul if his current girlfriend cheated on him. He would just pack her bags and send her off. But remember, he's experienced. He's like a steel beam. Steel has been purified by fire. It was brought up from iron ore and clay and dirt mixed together, and we tempered it with steel, but it took a lot of fire and a lot of pain and a lot of heat. Okay? That's what he's talking about. He's not saying that he's never gone through this kind of thing. He has gone through this kind of thing, and that's how he knows.
You don't care about the shit that women are doing. It doesn't affect you.
Well, but the thing of it is, you have to understand the behavioral patterns so that you don't waste your time on the ones that aren't interested. That's what he's doing.
This kind of behavior. He is saying that a woman has the ability to crush your soul when what he should be doing is telling.
You're missing the point. No, Bill, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. He is not saying that he believes that. He should have actually said, "Crush your soul." He should have actually put air quotes. He should have put quotes around the title because he knows that at this stage in his life, no, that would not crush his soul. But when you're 24 years old and it happens to you, and trust me, I know, yes, it will, or at least you'll feel like it does. The thing of it is he's trying to show you the reason that it hurts more. Now, I mean, he's using hyperbole here, but he's saying that the reason it feels like your soul is being crushed is because it's a bigger deal to you when she does it than it's going to be to her when you do it, if you are the high value man that she is trying to cling to. You would be surprised what a woman who is obsessed with you will put up with. That's all he's saying. That's all he's saying. You're taking it to an extreme, man. You're taking it a little bit far. I mean, you got the right idea, but you're taking it farther than it needs to go.
There is no greater physical or emotional pain. Come on, dog.
He's talking about he's talking about no, he's not talking about you, me, and him. He's talking about when you're young and inexperienced and when she does that. That's what he's saying. He's not saying it literally crushes your soul. He's not saying it literally destroys you for life. He's saying that when you're young and this happens to you, fuck yeah, it feels like that.
Stop the cap.
Learning that your woman has slept with another man. There is no other pain.
Okay. Now
It happened to me when I was 26 years old and it fucking destroyed me.
Where you see, I don't understand why this red pill guy is talking about your woman. I thought it's not your woman, it's just your turn.
Exactly, but remember, you have to understand he's explaining this. He's explaining this in 25-year-old male terms.
Inflict emotional pain on you and crush your soul. What kind of bitch ass shit is that?
He's not a bitch ass. What he's saying is that when you're in your 20s and that happens to you, yes, that is how you're going to feel like it is. He is not saying it literally is like that throughout your entire life. He is saying that when you're young and inexperienced and you haven't figured out how this works, that's how it feels.
Here's how it goes. If you work 10 figures, you can have your wife and your side sleeping in the same bedroom, right?
Yep.
Stop the cap.
No, he's right. Here's the thing. in a major city, I wouldn't have believed this. I wouldn't listen, Bill. I would not have believed this until I moved to a major U.S. city. But I have seen girls who care more about the balance in your bank book than what you got in your pants, and that's
okay. Then they're worthless, and that's why you need to have a vetting process.
You know that, and I know that. But here's the thing: the guy that's holding the wallet. Listen, but the problem is that the guy's holding the wallet is going, "Oh my God, pretty lady, how much do I have to pay to get you and you alone for the rest of my life?" And honestly, he really thinks that's all it takes, because she told him that's all it takes. And hey, she's pretty; she can't be lying. This is what he's talking about. He's not saying that we really are crushed by this. He is saying that there is no reason to be crushed by this, and here's what he's explaining as to why that shouldn't be the case.
Stand on money to get two bitches at once, and I'll tell you right now, that is cap. I know plenty of people in ethically non-monogamous relationships that don't make 10 figures and can check both of their bitches at once. Sleep in
What's
the
the percentage? What's the percentage of that compared to the people that can be bought? Come on now, we're talking about money here.
He's advocating money and that it's okay to cheat. First of all, men don't cheat. Okay. We don't lie to women. That's why we don't cheat. We don't put ourselves in monogamous expectations when we know that that's not what we want, because basically what you're doing is lying to try to get pussy. That's why you're becoming monogamous in the first place. Because if you were a man,
well, listen, nobody on this panel is.
Woman should know from the very beginning that she is basically getting into an open relationship with you. So I just don't understand why you think you need.
See, that's what he's advocating. You get into an open relationship with somebody, and if she wants a commitment, she will ask you. You do not. You do not ask for the commitment.
Now, I absolutely agree with that.
Like I said last episode, the minute you as a man ask for the commitment, you are telling her that everything she is currently doing and everything she has done so far is perfectly sufficient for you to decide this is the person I want to commit to. Now, if she hasn't done that, you don't ask for that.
What he's telling her is not my concern right now. What he's telling young men is, and what he's telling people is it's okay to cheat as long as you make 10 figures. And men,
no, see, that's where you got it wrong. He is saying that women will be much more accepting of a guy who makes 10 million a year having sex with another girl a couple times a month, as long as her bills stay paid, as long as she lives that lavish lifestyle, as long as she gets to drive the car, as long as she gets to sleep in the heart-shaped bed, as long as she has that room with a view. So he's not paying the other girl's bills. He's just giving her the D. As long as the main girl's getting all the money, getting all the shit taken care of, she couldn't care less who he's banging. Here's the thing that we have to understand as Gen Xers, this was not how our generation operated. Well, for the most part.
All right.
This is modern times.
If you're worth 7 figures, you can have a side chick. Maybe she lives in the guest house.
Or the pool house.
Side chick who's living in the guest house when you're making 5 figures. It's called being a man. All right, Johnny, let's
talk around here in PA. Here in PA, you can probably get away with that. Yeah.
You let them know from the very beginning what the deal is, and they're either with it or they're not. And if they're not,
something,
that's cool,
he says that too.
In your time.
That's actually something Donovan does say.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably got it from Mr. 1950 and Mr. Lucario.
Actually, he loves Lucario, and Lucario's a great guy. He should.
Lucario and Miles have been on Fresh and Fit a few times.
Dude, I love Miles.
Shout out to Miles Cunningham, masculine identity.
Absolutely.
All right. Johnny, I see all these shorts about women. But I don't understand. I thought his audience is young men. So why
it is? Because remember,
in the game on how to be better men.
Because in order to be better men, we have to be able to understand how to get women. And in order to get women, we got to understand how to vet women. And if we got to in order to understand, hold on. In order to understand how to vet women,
Johnny, does fucking a woman make you a man? So don't tell me that the game is about women.
It's not about that, but it's about understanding their behavioral patterns so that you can tell whether they're interested in the first place or not. Because we are trying to stop young men from wasting their time.
When you really get that site, when you really get the game, the why doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter why they do what they do.
Right, the because does.
The only thing that matters is if they're doing what you want them to do. That's it.
But that's part of it. If you understand the behavioral patterns, you know how to vet out the ones that behave in ways that you don't want to be around. And then once you whittle it down to that, you can actually start talking to them and have a conversation. So you're going to whittle them down after that too. But the fact of the matter is that Donovan is showing people what the typical modern feminine behavior is going to show you and whether or not you should waste your time, money, and resources pursuing it. And the answer in most cases, just like the result of most hunts, as we talked about last episode, is failure.
Okay, so we're going to go why sleeping with him on the first date, ... because I got a very good closure rate for first dates.
Actually, I really wanted you to find one of the womanese ones.
What does women have to do to get the fight? Just be
like if you don't have sex with a girl on the first date, you don't like her. Because I don't think guys would think.
If I go out
Can't hear it.
I'm gonna try to fuck. That's just.
Damn, that's thirsty as fuck.
I can't hear it.
Try to fuck. Now, if she gives up on the first date, I know she belongs in the streets. I'm not gonna take her seriously. There's a lot of
Yeah.
See, that stopped the cap. Just because she gives it up on the first date to me doesn't mean she's gonna give it up to the first date with everybody.
Billy, I've been dating girls for 30 years, and I've had one serious relationship in which I got it on the first date. One. In 30 years. One.
Why are you trying to get these serious relationships with like that?
Vetting takes several months. These women need to go hard for you and not just once or twice. She shouldn't be throwing you recycled pussy as a Valentine's Day present. Okay? Come on, man. What is wrong with some of y'all?
Well,
All right,
I mean,
John,
listen,
let's move
I'm
on.
not gonna say that it's kind of hypocritical for her to expect you to do something new and innovative for her to give you the same piece of ass you got 3 nights ago. But at the same time, remember that we are going to vet these girls out before we ever even make that commitment to them to celebrate Valentine's Day with them in the first place.
Hey, we're vetting these women before we even decide to make the commitment to give them dick.
Yeah, I mean,
all right. Johnny, I got to be honest, man. Looking at this page, I see a lot of fear-based content, things to get guys that are afraid, guys that are afraid of
that's
women.
what the pink-haired girls want you to think.
Pandering for content of guys insecure in their own current relationships. I'm not seeing much self-help on here.
Well, that's why I told you to watch a few videos before we did this.
Yeah,
in their entirety.
Like, show me, give me the game.
I think we should. I think I should have you. I think you should subscribe to his channel, and I think we should revisit this episode 1 month from tonight.
All right, let's try to find some womanese because I know. Should I jump over to the videos or maybe the lives? Is it
the shorts are probably better?
Shorts are probably better.
Yeah. He gets really quick to the point.
All right, look, I put on videos, and the first few are womanese. So we got a 5-minute video. I'm getting married someday. Here's another one. I never felt this way before.
Okay, get one more, but I'll bet you that's going to be the one.
What, I never felt this way before?
Yeah, but look for one more. Look, there's.
Yeah. All right. I'm not that person anymore.
There it is. Yes, do it.
All right. Well, this one's 11 minutes, dog. And the way that we
talk, shit. No, I thought it was a short one. There should be a short by the same title. Are you in the short?
I'm on the
go
video.
One to the right. Go one to the right. But look for the same thing when you go one to the right. The category.
All right. So I'm in the shorts now, and there's no womanese around here.
Yeah, I'm not that person anymore. It's right there.
Where?
Scroll down a little bit.
Okay, I see Kevin Samuels on narcissistic women. Kevin Samuels on single mothers. When reality hits for women. Why female cheating crushes a man's soul. What women really want. How the woman's movement was a lot. Dog, this is pandering content for a certain type of audience. I'm telling you. Kevin Samuels.
And I'm telling you, you got to watch the videos a little bit more.
You deserve. Why women don't cook or clean. Man,
you should watch that one.
Dog, no, I can't because I fuck with women.
Not now. I'm just saying later.
I get that cooking with Kaya energy, dog. So I can't sit here and watch a short about why women don't cook or clean.
I wasn't going to say
that. I still haven't seen any womanese. Women who get passed around. Why women mistake stability for boredom.
Actually, let's hit that one.
What?
Let's hit that one.
Which one?
Stability for boredom.
Another fresh and fit clip. You're killing me tonight.
All right, we can skip it. We can skip it. Let's get another one.
Run it. Oh, this is the one we picked.
Women mistake stability for boredom and end up really good relationships.
I agree.
And for all of you women who think men cheat more, let me ask all of you a question. If me and, I don't know, you, if somebody came in here and said, I will give you $1 million if you can go out there with more guys, Whoever gets laid most gets $1 million. Who's gonna win? You or me?
The woman will.
Hold on. Why is that?
Because it's easy. I can go to the gas station. Men are looking to the strip club, to the club. Anywhere.
What?
For men, you guys have to put a little bit more work.
A little bit?
A lot.
No.
Just anybody?
No.
Of course not. What would you say is the percentage of men you find unattractive?
Here it is, guys.
I was gonna say 5%.
There it is. Listen, just because women, look, here's the deal, guys. I've come to sort of figure this out. Are there good women? Aaron said this on the last podcast. There are some inherently good women and some inherently bad women. Most women and men fall somewhere between high risk or low risk, or somewhere in between. The more risk she is, the more you have to mitigate it. The less of a risk she is, the less you have to mitigate. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't make you bad people. It's just, women mistake stability for boredom and end up really good relationships.
Johnny, we didn't get to womanese tonight.
We really didn't. But
If you want to come back to this in a few weeks when we got TK, I'm down. I like doing these red pill reviews. I like raising awareness about the red pill community, and I would love to get the opportunity to talk more about the red pill cult. So we can definitely run this back in a couple weeks. I think that's a great idea.
yeah, I mean, I'm going to recommend to not only Bill, but a lot of you guys, actually, every one of you guys watching, go to Donovan Sharpe on YouTube and watch a few of his videos. Look, if you disagree, let me know in the comments below. Tell me I'm an asshole. I mean, I might be. But remember that if you don't find at least 2 or 3 poignant statements in that channel, you're not listening.
Well, I think it's important that young men aren't misled. Okay. And from what I've seen, I don't really like the path, the way that he's showing. John, I don't like that he's.
It's because you haven't been watching him for the last 6 years like I have.
It's women's fault. It's all right. Maybe
Well,
you're
no,
right.
nobody's putting fault. No. Listen, nobody's putting fault on anybody except for us guys.
And
He's telling us guys that we have to be accountable to ourselves. We have to be accountable to not only the way we conduct ourselves in our personal and professional lives, but we even have to be accountable to ourselves in the way that we vet the women that we decide to get involved with. And I know that you've only seen those videos tonight, but if you watch a lot more of his stuff, I really think you're going to see a lot more of what he's talking about.
All right. Well, for now, we'll have to agree to disagree. But I think we're going to be back Thursday night. We'll be breaking down some. Are we doing Bumble this week, Johnny, or are we doing something else?
Oh, hell yeah, we're doing Bumble. And I'll tell you why when we get offline.
All right. So we'll be back Thursday night with Bumble. We'll appreciate everybody that watched the stream tonight. Do me a favor. Hit that like button. Show us some love. Share the stream. We're out. Have a good evening.